In the past few videos, I have stressed enough on Kubernetes secrets, and we'll continue this journey and explore another tool today. So, time and again, I have said the same thing again that the Kubernetes secrets are not secure enough. It is base 64 encoded, and there is no encryption over there, and anybody can easily decode the secrets. You cannot commit the secrets to any place like GitHub or anything like that. Natively, you won't be able to use any of the secret stores which are out there. Now, in past, we have discussed already external secrets operator, CSI driver, secrets. And in this particular video, we are going to discover yet another tool which is called sealed secrets. So how you can actually achieve committing of secrets into the GitHub repositories to enable, to even empower your GitHub workflow. That is what we'll be going to discuss today. Now, before that, this video is brought to you by Cisco, Komodor, Sysdig, slim.ai. Do check them out. The links are in the description. The more you check them out, they'll keep on maintaining their organizational membership with me, which helps me create such educational content for free for you. And now let's move to sealed secrets. So sealed secrets or Kubernetes. Official definition, it's a project by Vietnami Labs. It provides declarative Kubernetes secret management in a secure way. Since sealed secrets are encrypted, now, understand this word, encrypted, they can be safely stored in any code repository. This enables to easily implement the GitOps flow that is definitely popular, and you have seen more and more adoption in the GitOps workflow. Three main things that will be there is one, there is a command line utility that you need to install that is called kubectl. So basically there is a CLI client side tool that has to be there called kubectl, and it can encrypt the Kubernetes secret easily. So the next one is sealed secrets controller that will be installed onto the Kubernetes cluster. Now this controller will decrypt any sealed secret into equivalent Kubernetes secret. So even if anyone has the access, obviously your code is public, so people have access to your Kubernetes secret that you have encrypted and pushed in your repository. But that decryption can only be done by the controller that is running inside your Kubernetes cluster. So sealed secrets are safe to store in the local code repository along with the rest of your configuration so that you can easily deploy your secrets. Coming to the features, it's one-way encryption, it's write-only device. Sealed secrets can be decrypted only by the controller running in the target, and nobody else, not even the original author, is able to obtain the original secret. Then there is a renewal secret key. Sealing keys are automatically renewed after 30 days, which means there is a new sealing key created and appended to the set of active sealing keys. The controller can be used to unseal secret resources. Then there is a metrics as well. So the sealed secrets controller that is running on your Kubernetes cluster exposes a Kubernetes endpoint metrics. These metrics enable the operator how it is performing, and how many unseals have been attempted, how many errors have occurred due to the permissions, wrong key, corrupted data, and all the other stuff. Let's go to the GitHub repository. Right? We want demos. We want to see how this works, and that's what this channel is all about. We kind of will go through it in a deep dive way. Now, to make things easier so that you can try everything on your own is I'll be using Killer Coda so that you can exactly try all the stuff that I'm doing. So let's do that. Let's go to Killer Coda. So this is Kubernetes 1.27 playground. kubectl get nodes. You can see the 1.27.1 nodes is there. Now let's go and we'll go through the documentation of the installation as well, step by step. So I told you we need a cluster side component and a client side component. So we have to install that first. Let's do the installation. So going to releases, we can see 0.20.5. So let's go here. In the assets, select whatever you want. I will be choosing this one, copy link address, come back, wget, let's *-xvf kubectl and chmod plus x kubectl, and then we move kubectl to user local bin, just the usual stuff. Now we'll be installing the controller. So using the Helm chart, we can do that. Let's add the repo, and then let's install sealed secrets. So you can see sealed secrets is already installed. Let's check that kubectl get prods -a. We can see that the sealed secrets controller is already there 31 seconds ago, up and running. Kubectl is installed. We can actually move on and try to run a particular demo. So first, what we are going to do is we are creating a secret, a regular Kubernetes secret. This kubectl create secret generic and then giving it a name from literal key and value. So let's create that. Secret is created. Let's do kubectl get secrets. So this is the secret that got created. Let's get a YAML file for that. So you can see there is a key and its value is this. Now we can actually check echo and this, and then base 64 decode, and you can see value. So we have got, like, this is how the secret is. This is how you can decode it. Pretty simple, pretty normal stuff. Obviously, you cannot commit that file because anybody can just base 64 decode this particular value and they'll be able to get the secrets for anything confidential that you want to use in your cluster or in your applications that you are deploying onto your Kubernetes cluster. Now let's try the kubectl way of doing things. So what we are going to do is, here we are creating a new secret, but we are doing a dry run of that, and we are going from file foo and putting that in a JSON, and because the value will be bar. So foo is the key and value is bar, but we are getting that secret into a JSON file. So like, I'll quickly show you the my secret JSON. It's pretty simple. The secret name, and you can see that the data is foo and ymfy, which is base 64 encoded. So that's how Kubernetes creates the secret, base 64 encoded. Now let's seal the secret. We'll use kubectl and then put my secret JSON in the input, and in the output we'll give my sealed secret.json. And now, interestingly, if we see the my sealed secret, you can see the foo value is completely encrypted. This particular file, this particular secret file JSON file can definitely be committed to GitHub or any source code repository that you are using, because you cannot decrypt that. Only the seed secrets operator running on the cluster can decrypt this particular file. Now we just create a regular secret, kubectl create -f my sealed secret. The secret is created. Now we get the secret, kubectl get secret. You can see the my secret 28 seconds ago, and the secret is automatically created. Let's try to do the YAML of that, and we see it is created the same kind of secret inside the cluster, but it decrypted from the file. And in the owner references, it has said that this particular secret is actually managed by the controller and is of the kind sealed secret. So that's where it says the owner references as sealed secrets controller, which is there. Now let's try to actually commit the secret into the code and use ArgoCD to deploy the application with the secret, which is there. So for that, what I have done is I have taken another Killer Coda playground, which is called ArgoCD playground, that you can find in the playground section. I have reinstalled all the components of kubectl and the seed secrets operators. So we can see kubectl get prods -a. I already have sealed secrets there and also kubectl. Now it is very important that I don't use any of the other clusters because the kubectl checks against the sealed secrets controller of the particular context of the cluster, and then it encrypts. And that is why only the controller which is running on your cluster can decrypt that. So that is a very interesting piece and very easy to set up as well. So let's run this, where we are trying to create a secret. Password is equal to Kubernetes, and then we'll do cat MySQL secret sealed. Let's copy this. I don't want to store my credentials over here. So I'll directly create the file in the repository. I can commit this particular file. There is no harm in that. And the name of the secret will be my SQL secret, and key will be password, and value will be this. So let's create this. And you can see in the deployment file, it's a simple deployment with MySQL root password, which is the environment variable coming from a secret key reference MySQL secret with a password. So that's how it is coming. Now let's open our ArgoCD playground, and we can also figure out the password. Everything is mentioned in the instructions here as well because it's a playground. So this particular thing is the password, username is admin, we should be able to log in. Let's create a new application. Let's name it sealed secret. Project name is default. Sync policy is automatic. And then we provide the repository URL, sealed secrets. It's main. We want to deploy everything in the current directory, and then in the default cluster URL and default namespace. And let's create it. So Sealed Secrets project is created, synced, healthy, everything is running. Let's go to our cluster actually and see kubectl get pods. And we can actually see kubectl get pods that are MySQL pod is up and running, which is kube simplifies the name of the deployment, which is there. So we can try to test this kubectl exec -it -sh, and we can do echo MySQL root password, and we can see Kubernetes. So we have successfully created the secret and used kubectl to encrypt the secret, and we have pushed that encrypted secret to our repository because that is pretty safe. Only the controller running on this particular cluster can decrypt that, and we are able to use ArgoCD to apply the complete GitOps, which is there, including the secrets and the configuration for this particular file, and it is up and running. So, and it is injected inside the pod as an environment variable. That's how the deployment spec was. You can also manage existing secrets by adding a simple annotation to your secret, which is sealed secrets.bitnami.com/managed, and giving it a value as true. You can update the existing secrets if you want without changing, just by adding this particular flag, which is -" merge into. So there is actually a raw mode, which is in experimental phase. So you can just echo foo here, and you can see kubectl -raw in the namespace bar and the secret. Now here the scope has to be taken care very carefully because it can be namespace wide, and it can be default, it can be cluster wide. So that has to be taken care, and sealed secret annotation has to be added, like include the annotations inside that. So this is something that has to be done, and you can always validate a secret if the secret is valid or not. Next is the sealing key renewal. It's a pretty straightforward concept that the sealing keys are automatically renewed after every 30 days, but that doesn't mean you cannot, unseal or decrypt the secrets which are there, because sealed secrets are not automatically rotated. The old keys are not deleted. So your sealed secrets resource can be decrypted because the old sealing keys are not deleted. So overall, it's a pretty straightforward project, in my opinion. You can, there are two things majorly: kubectl, the client, which is there, that is used to one-way encrypt the secret using the controller that is installed in your cluster. If you directly run kubectl without any controller installed, it will throw an error, and that is the reason you can push that to the GitHub repository, because the controller running in your Kubernetes cluster can only decrypt that particular secret and create a Kubernetes secret out of that, and that can be used inside the pod. This very much enables the true GitOps workflow for your secret managements as well. In the end, it's a Kubernetes secret that is created. So if anybody has the access to your cluster, they can easily fetch the secrets. Till now, we have discussed a few tools that can be used for your secret management, like Kubernetes Secret Management, sealed secrets, external secrets operator, and the CSI secret store. So I think you can choose and pick between all these based on your use cases. So I have talked about all the benefits and stuff for each one of them. This particular sealed secrets have major advantage in terms of simplicity. And it's pretty simple to install and use for a number of clusters. Yeah, do check the project out and also the other videos on the secrets so that you know different options that can be used for the management of your Kubernetes secrets. That's pretty much it for sealed secrets. It's pretty cool, neat project that is there. So check that out. Again, shout out to all the members, Cisco, Komodor, Sysdig, slim.ai. Do check them out. Also do the regular stuff of liking the video, sharing it, subscribing to the channel, and all the fancy things. And then if you happen to try it, then do take the screenshots and post on Twitter. I really like seeing if you have reached till the end of the video, have learned something, and then have tried it out or implemented in your project. In the end, do let me know in the comment section what are you using for your Kubernetes secrets. Till then, see you in the next one. Thank you.